And if you just play the lick over and over again on its own, not in context, you're really going to struggle to actually bring that and incorporate it into your playing when you're doing.
Welcome everybody, Sean Wilson here. We have a special guest with us today, Simon from the UK, and Simon is a friend of mine. And Simon and I have met because we're doing the same thing. And I remember when Simon, I remember when he first started his YouTube channel. And when he first started his YouTube channel, based on music instruction, kind of similar to me, but he was targeting a different audience. Goes more into the jazz, where I was going more into the gospel. You know, he had a few members. He had a couple hundred. Remember when he went to a couple thousand? And he was like, "Man, Sean, I love what you're doing." And he said, "Man, how are you getting all these subs?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I turn around, I blinked, folks. All I did is blink, okay? And I look at Simon's numbers on YouTube channel. And if you want to go see it, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and put PianoPig.com. And this guy has 250,000 subscribers. He's doing something right. 250,000 subscribers. So, and believe it or not, something most of you may not be aware of. Yeah. Jada says she wants you to share that part with him. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But believe it or not, guys, when I went to the UK last year, Simon and I got to meet in person. We had lunch together. We were hanging out together. He's a great guy. I'm vouching for him myself. We went to the guitar. Believe it or not, we went to the Guitar Center, it wasn't called Guitar Center. We went to a music store down there, and the dude was killing me with his licks. So I want to tell you guys now. Simon he's the truth, man. So he's a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. So I'm just glad to have Simon on. So Simon, I don't know what you think about that intro, man, but welcome. Thanks for coming, man.
I loved it.
And so I just kind of wanted to start with you and just kind of tell us a little bit about your background. Kind of tell us your background in music first, and then kind of shift to your channel. And then the first thing is, how did you get the name PianoPig? Like, I see you got the logo on your shirt. Just kind of walk us through that. And for everybody that's listening, we're going to do this in 1 hour. Believe it or not, it's almost 10 o'clock Simon's time. He's in the UK. So we want to be respectful of his time. So I broke it up into 15-minute blocks. So the 15-minute is just the part where you're just going to give us some background, and also the background of your channel and what your channel is about. Just overview.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. It was a great intro. And yeah, so with my kind of background, I've been playing my whole life, actually, from quite a young age. And I didn't touch jazz for a long time. It was just classical based, actually, just classically trained.
Oh, okay.
You know, with your old man classical teacher.
Oh, so he kind of started like a lot of us did, where we just kind of had a teacher and you just kind of had a music and you just started classical. Just tell us how PianoPig got started, and tell me your take on why you feel your channel has been such, 250,000. This is insane. So just tell me about that. Just to talk to us about that.
Well, the whole idea originated when I was actually in a really bad place. I kind of had all these plans and everything was not going to plan. So I was kind of at home just thinking, you know, what can I do? And at that time I was kind of really into using YouTube myself to try and like find new stuff, and was really into practicing the piano. Okay. And that's kind of where the idea came from. I went through a few iterations of just making courses on like Skillshare and stuff like that. And then realized, oh, now I'll start a YouTube channel, and then that led on to a membership site. So that's kind of the base of where that came from.
So how often would you say you were posting videos, you know, as far as on your channel?
On YouTube, I've been pretty consistent. I just post one video every week on a Friday evening, Friday afternoon.
My goodness.
And Yeah, I think the thing that's really helped it grow is I had like 3 or 4 videos that absolutely blew up. You know, they've got millions of views somehow. I don't know how.
And you you just
I don't know.
you're just what, and and those videos just raised your. I'm pretty sure you saw like overnight almost, like it's when those videos started to.
Yeah, a few of them really blew up. I think if you're honestly out there to help people learn, and that's your main kind of goal in the whole
Yeah,
thing, then
yeah,
you're just going to draw in. People are going to be drawn towards you,
yeah,
rather if you're just there for the views and
you
stuff.
know, that's a really great point too. And do you feel too that you kind of appeal to a very wide market? Because even though you're a jazz teacher, a lot of the videos on your channel are they're very helpful for somebody who just wants to get started and maybe just wants to know, okay, I just want to know basic chords, or they may not be deep into jazz, but I find that you kind of you appeal to a very wide market as well. Do you find that you agree with that? You know, that you can appeal to a very wide market too.
Yeah, very much so. Because yeah, obviously jazz is kind of the base, but then I get so many people asking me questions how to do this other stuff, and it's really so easy for me to make a video. So I just do just to try and help as many people as possible. And
Yeah.
as like me, as I said, I kind of came from a classical background. A lot of people are coming from different areas, so they kind of need
Uh,
those. They need those bridge
they
videos
need
to
the
kind of,
bridge. Ah,
yeah. So I
yeah,
kind of try
that's
to
a good
make
idea.
those.
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll try that. Get myself a cool million, just a cool million views. Get people. Yeah, I make a video about Corey Henry, and people are like, "Oh my goodness, no way!" They start looking and say, "I can't understand this stuff." They click right off.
Your
But you
videos
know,
are awesome, though, man. I love your videos. It goes
yeah,
so in depth. Like,
yeah, I appreciate it. But no, you're actually teaching me something. You know, just accessibility is great. You know, and even as musicians, just learning accessibility, because sometimes, you know, as musicians we can be so advanced in our approach and in our thinking that we can lose things. So I like the fact that you're able to, you know, you're able to speak to advanced people, but you also can go all the way back to, and you know, so I may try that. I may get flamed. Why are you teaching us the scales? But I don't know. My site does that though. I just don't put it on YouTube. So yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
All right. So let me go into let's go into the second part. So and by the way, Keith just said that PianoPig's a really cool channel. So I got a lot of members who watch your channel. So just kind of wanted to
oh,
share that with you.
thanks, Keith.
Yeah. So all right. So let me get into the second part of this, which is the your philosophy towards music. Tell us your thought process on how you approach improv.
Yeah, nice. So, improvisation for me, I know it sounds so cliche to say, but it is just a language. And I think the
Mm,
more you can relate it to a language, the more sense it makes, and the more approachable it is. Um,
wow.
it's just when you kind of think of it as like everyone has such misconceptions that improvisation is sitting down and just playing something spur of the moment that no one's ever played before, and every
Mm,
time it's completely different. And
okay.
that's just not true at all.
Wow.
It's like when you're talking to someone like we're talking now. We've
Right.
never said this before. We've never said this context, but
Wow.
the words we're saying are, I'm sure we've both said thousands of times before.
Mm,
Kind of putting them together in different ways and
okay.
kind of creating new sentences and new stories. And if you apply that to improvisation, you come up with these patterns, these licks, these kind of ways of connecting things, and you just learn them inside out. You ingrain them like deeply, and
Mm.
you can then put them together in different ways. And then when you come down to play a solo, you've played all the small bits 100 times, 1,000 times, but you're just creating a new sentence, a new story.
Oh.
And that's
Man,
that's
you're
the way I
you're
like
an
to approach it.
you're an amazing teacher, man. Like this is I don't know if you looking at some of the chat comments, but you're really the way that you are articulating the process of improv is it makes it seem so easy. So basically you can memorize certain phrases, you can memorize certain licks, basically just like the same way that we memorize words, but it's how people connect those things together is basically you're saying is what makes the improv process basically
Yeah,
work out
exactly.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what's the importance, do you feel, of ear? Do you do ear training directly? And if so, how, what's your process of how you train your ear, things like that? Like, what do you?
Yeah, so I do a lot of ear training. I do it primarily through two ways.
Okay.
One is just like apps on my phone. If I'm just out and about and I don't have a piano, there's some really great apps. Like
Okay.
the ear training method is one I use.
Okay.
And they've
Ear
got
training method. That's the name of the app. Jada or
so
Siobhan, you guys get that for us, and let us know in the comments so that I can have that in the comments. He said, what was the name of that, Simon?
I think I'm pretty sure it's the ear training method, or
Ear,
the complete ear training
something like
method,
that.
something like
Okay,
that.
okay. So if somebody's listening and you look it up and you find it, just kind of let us know for sure that we can have that. Okay, that was the first one. Okay, and then you said there was two.
Yeah, and then the other way is transcribing.
Oh,
Just
okay.
sitting
Yeah.
down,
Oh, yeah.
listening to my favorite solos and
Oh, yeah.
transcribing, and that does obviously does so many other things, but
Oh, yeah.
developing your ear is so good for that, and you're doing it in the context of something, which is better than any app can do.
You actually covered a lot, so I think I can get to the third section now, in terms of some specific examples.
We'll have a nice simple one. Like this is a classic bebop line.
Okay.
Which Oscar Peterson, like any proper jazz guy will have this in their vocabulary. You probably recognize it. It's just that.
Okay.
It's just playing around with a minor triad.
Oh.
But that, as simple as that is, you can create a whole solo with just that one lick. You can.
Okay,
that's just that one lick.
Now, but this is important stuff because you're actually speaking exactly to what a lot of us are wanting to know, which is how to improv. And I think if people could miss I think people could miss how powerful the things that you're saying right now is, because it's very powerful. So basically, what you're teaching us to do is take these small phrases that we like, and basically just kind of spreading them across, right? Kind of like using them in various different ways, basically, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Exactly. So take a simple 4 or 5 note phrase, something like that, and rather than learn that and then move on to the next lick, you want to spend a month with just that one lick, and come up with variations of it, and you can kind of go through like all the different types of seventh chords, for example, and try and find all the positions you can play it over each chord, and then put that into context. Like pick a song or a chord progression or a jazz standard, and every single opportunity that's possible to play that lick, and then try and connect. And then you can go so deep, and doing that really helps you kind of internalize it as well.
Oh, this is really important. So let me just so because a lot of the things that a lot of people, because my site, clearly, we have so much stuff, like, because every time I transcribe a song, I put that song on my website along with the MIDI file. So and obviously because I'm a monthly, because we're in a monthly program, I keep churning out content. So the downside to that is that it's a tendency to just really want to go off this other thing and just, oh, now he did this. Let me go to the new thing. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I kind of like what you're saying, because you're basically saying, because it sounds like it's personal. You have to like the lick. So if there's something that you really like, it's something that you really connect with, I guess the question I would ask the members is, like, how long are we spending on that before we move on? And how well can you do it, right? How well can you take that one thing? Are you and here's an ouch. Here's one of those, if your toes are in the way, please move them out the way, right? But how many of you guys are experts at just one thing, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many of us can say that we are 100, like a master at just one, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about 10. I'm saying just one thing that we can say we have totally mastered that thing, you know. And we got people in the comments. But, you know, because to be honest with you, Simon, I had been playing for almost 20 years, and I don't think I was, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm just now trying to start off, okay, what is it that I want to master? But it sounds like what you're saying is the people who reach those stages, that they've not even mastered that many. It's just that they've mastered maybe 3 or 4 or 5 things at a high level, as opposed to just hitting a bunch of stuff, but then just kind of being okay at it, kind of mediocre at it. So this is powerful. Wow, man, this is so powerful, man. So let me spotlight you, because I keep taking over your spotlight.
That's all right. That's all right.
Wow, man. Okay, so what else do you want to add to that? Oh, and is there a song you want to play? Let me see. What else did I have here? Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that third section?
Yeah, I mean, we can finish with like take a simple chord progression and just apply those 2 licks we learned and see what we can come up with. So, I mean, literally simple stuff like A minor 7 to D minor 7, and just kind of And then so you look at like an A minor, try on that first lick. Try and see like where all the different places that you can come up with it. Where does it fit over?
Okay. Oh, so you can use that over the A minor. So you did instead of doing it in C, you're now doing it in G.
Yeah.
But you're doing it over the A minor chord in the left hand.
Or you could do it in C as well. Both of those will fit over the A minor. So there's already 2 positions.
I see. So this is what you mean by working out one lick. So you have that one lick that can be used with many things. And so basically when you're playing on the spot, you want to be able to use that lick in various ways, basically, and not just be stuck only in the way that you learned it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You want to kind of have complete flexibility and be able to use those words in all sorts of different forms.
You keep coming back to communication.
Yeah. It's just, as I said, it's just the more you relate it to a language, the more approachable the whole thing is, I think.
Man, I could see now why you have this 250,000 subs, man. Okay, man, this is amazing, man. This is amazing. So I thank you, man. I want to move to the second, because I know it's getting really late.
That's all right.
Q&A, guys. Let's get to the Q&A. Gerson is saying, I think he was about to do something with the E minor to the D. You mean the A minor? Oh, he was asking if you can actually go more into what you were about to do with the A minor to the D minor and kind of explore that a little bit more. Yeah.
So that A minor to D minor, you can kind of, although that original lick was just over a C7, you kind of want to find different ways of using it. And for example, that A minor to D minor, you could play around with it and come up with a... That's onto the D.
And that's the thing that you just showed us at the beginning.
Yeah. And you can kind of...
That thing there.
And you can break that down. So that last bit, that's kind of an approach pattern. And you could take that and, you know... That's kind of just using that same one approach pattern and really applying it to different things. You know, you can really play around with it and try it with different things.
Now, you're telling me you can do all this stuff here just memorizing 4 or 5 licks?
Yeah, that whole thing was based off that blues lick I showed you earlier.
That's one lick.
I created all of that from that, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. So basically, that's not. I'm thinking you're saying that what you just did, all that stuff there, was like 4 or 5 licks. No, that was one lick.
It was that one lick broken up into different bits, and then each bit kind of variations of each bit, and then
Got it.
all of those
Okay.
put together in different ways.
Got you. So you're doing variations of bits.
Yeah, yeah,
So we're having a language discussion right now, in essence.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow. This is deep. Wow. A language discussion. I'm going to really be thinking about this, but Simon, I don't want to keep you, man. So let us know, how can we get in? So Simon, let us know about who would you say benefits most from like PianoPig, as far as, in just your whole ecosystem? Who benefits from that most? So that, just in case a member wants to check you out, some of them have already seen you, some of them check you out, but just kind of, if they don't know, just kind of let us know, and then how we can get in touch with you.
I think anyone who is kind of wants to get into more jazz and that kind of improvisation side of things would definitely benefit.
Cool.
And especially, as I was saying earlier, with the kind of the bridging, if you just can't figure out how to get into jazz, I kind of try to include loads of stuff to bridge you into it and kind of make it approachable from various other genres.
Oh, he did the troll. Oh, I heard it. He's got soul. They say he's got too much soul and sauce. Oh man.
So a little something.
Hey, you gotta look, man. Look, every time somebody plays, you gotta go to the comments, man. You gotta go to the comments. You gotta see them.